Reach out specifically. I know, Jeannie, you reached out to me yesterday and just asked me the question of basically the conversation went, I creeped your page. I don't see a lot of product posts or anything. Like, how do you sign so many customers and distributors if you're not ever posting about the product? And I answered her, but I figured if one person's asking that, there's probably several people asking that. So I wanted to hop in here and answer. That way, when I have new people that are creeping my page and I get that question, because it's not the first time, then I can send them an answer and it'll make a little bit more sense. So customers for me come from host to post, stories, and my VIP lounge. And then distributors come from my posts and my stories, as well as reels, directing them to my application that's in my bio. And then I do a ton of messaging for distributors if I don't have leads coming in from another place. Meaning some weeks I have lots of people that are wanting interviews and some weeks I don't. Some weeks my reels don't take off. Some weeks my posts don't get any traction. So at that point, I do a lot of messaging. I don't know what the heck is going on with this. Hi, Lila or Leela. It's going to mess me up the whole time. So host to post and stories and the VIP lounge for customers. So what I do is I do a ton of host to post. Majority of my host to posts are for customers. I have done distributor host to post for me. They did not take off. Or I would get a bunch of people who wanted like a get rich quick thing and they didn't want a business. Now, if you are doing them or your upline's telling you to do them and they're working for you, do them. I'm a firm believer that if it's working, keep doing it. If it's not working, change it. And there are going to be things that work for people that don't work for you. And there's going to be things that work for you that don't work for other people. So you're going to find your groove in the business. And that's something that honestly, like, you have to find your groove in the business. So I don't post pictures of product and that kind of stuff on my page because I do practice curiosity marketing as well as attraction marketing. However, again, if you're posting pictures of product and you're signing the amount of customers and distributors that you want, sign them. I've been busy with personal stuff past weeks due to loss of an older son. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, Lila. I cannot imagine. So we are talking about signing customers and distributors without spamming our pages. So a big reason for this, and a big reason that I learned this technique, is because I did not have a warm market at all when I started this. Like, I'm talking, all of my friends and family were just as broke as we were. Remember, y'all know my story. We had our bills paid. Like, we weren't in a spot where we were, I guess, poor, that you would call it, because I grew up poor. Like, I know the difference. We were broke in the respect that all of our bills were paid, and we definitely did not need this business, but we also didn't have any extra money. So, in other words, we did need this business, we just didn't know it. But having said all of that, all of our friends and family were in the same spot. Their bills were paid, they had decent jobs, but we all had kids and houses and, well, we didn't have a house, we had an apartment, but places to live. Places that needed our money and gas, money to put gas in the car and money for food. We were not in a spot that we were buying $40 hair supplements, which I absolutely use. You can't tell by how cute my hair is tonight, but they do work and I love them. I didn't have money to be spending $5 on coffee at the time, which we didn't have coffee when I started, so it didn't matter. I definitely was not spending money on my health. Like, those things were all on the back burner. So that's kind of what brought me to this business. So I didn't have friends and family to rely on. I had to grow my market and I had to grow it quickly because I needed to make money. Now, y'all know when you're growing your market, if you're also posting pictures of product all over your page, guess how fast your market is growing? Not that fast, because people just think you're trying to sell to them, so they do not accept you back. And we'll talk about that in a second. So having said all of that, I do a lot of host to post. I do get instant customers from host to post. As in, I talk to them and within 72 hours, they are a customer. Guys, if you're doing a lot of host to post and you're getting leads, but you are not closing those leads, I would highly recommend sending screenshots to your distributor, either of the last 5 or 10 customers that you have signed, see if we can help you seal the deal faster, or maybe you haven't signed anyone, everyone's falling through the crack. then send like the last 5 or 10 leads, full conversations to your distributor, and they will help you figure out where the break in the chain is, so to speak. And I had to do this. I've had to do this more than once. So it's not something that it should be embarrassed to do. It's something that it's a privilege to have an upline who's willing to work with you. And I count it privilege that I had someone higher up than me that was willing to take my screenshots and tell me what the heck I was doing and how to seal the deal faster. So I highly recommend doing that. Now, you're going to have a handful of people who sign within 3 to 4 weeks if you are showing that you're using the product on your own page. So you're going to have those people who are like, okay, I don't know you. I don't know. I want to see your results first, whatever. So that's why it's important to be showing in your stories that you're using the product on your page. Now, again, if you scroll on my page, you do see my last one was a hair, skin, and nails post of me using the hair, skin, and nails. But it's not an everyday thing. It's probably a once a week thing. But the reason being is because every day in my stories, I'm talking about a product. Right now, you can go up in there and I'm talking about the coffee. Let's see. Oh, so you want to keep them around to watch your page. And for that, you do have to add value in your space. And we're going to talk about that in a minute as well. In other words, you might be a pretty mom that's posting inspirational content and selfies on her page and funny things here and there every once in a while. You're not spammy at all. However, there's hundreds of thousands of moms that are pretty, that are posting inspirational content on Facebook right now. So what sets you apart? What makes you different? And that's kind of something that you got to focus on. What reason do they have to follow you? In other words, if they want nothing to do with It Works. Like if they're already interested in a product and they just haven't found someone to buy from, heck yeah, good for you. You're getting a customer. But most of the people that we add as friends, that's not the case. They're going to follow us for us. Now distributors, distributors come from my posts and my reels. I do a lot of reels, a lot of business reels, and I point them to my application in my bio, and they fill the application out, and then they DM me immediately. So I do get a lot of distributors from there, and then I also do the same thing in stories. So randomly in stories, I'll show people how I'm working. So for this right now, I'm literally going to probably do a quick little boomerang or something of this specific video and just talk about, hey, just went live and trained my team how to ... So I show people how I'm working. I show people how I'm training. I show people how I'm keeping track of my leads. And then, like I said earlier, if I do not have enough applications by the end of the week, and not even by the end of the day sometimes, like today I'm a little behind on work, so I probably won't do any messaging. But if I'm not behind, yeah, I'm going to message. I don't mind messaging at all. I would not have started had it not been for a message. So don't be afraid to reach out to people. Now, I will say, having said all of that, again, you may not see product or business posts, like direct posts on my page, but they're there. What I do is every 3 to 4 days, I post a call to action, and it usually says something like, who wants to grow their hair out? I have something for 3 people. Or who wants to make an extra $200 to $500 a month? I'm taking applications. Or who wants to try my new Supermom sticks? Send them out to 5 people. I'll get a bunch of comments. I'll message all those people, and then I'll go and delete the post because I don't want it to be spammy on my page. So they're absolutely there. I absolutely talk about the products. I would never tell somebody to never talk about the products. There's a girl on my team. Same thing. She posts very good, non-spammy content. And then every 3 to 4 days, she'll throw a random before and after picture and be like, oh my gosh, look at so-and-so's results with the coffee. And people ask her about it, and she'll sell samples, and she'll sell customer packs. And then she'll go and delete it because she doesn't want it on her page. And that's kind of how we operate. Now, when it comes to posting, because this is the biggest thing I get is, well, how do I know what to post? So when you're brand new, you're just going to follow the 5-day posting schedule. And I'm going to drop it in the comments here so y'all can go through and watch it at your own leisure. But basically, it's a 5-day rotation of posts. So if you start it on a Monday, you'll do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, day 1 through 5. And then Saturday, you'll start day 1 again. All it is to get people meeting in the middle. Because what you're going to do is you're going to have people that come into this business, and you might have been one of those. Drop me a 1 if this was you. This was not me. And you post 10 and 15 times a day. You share other people's stuff on your page all the freaking time. Like posting. Now, on the other end of the spectrum, and this was me, You're going to come into this business, drop me a 2 if this was you when you came in. You're going to come into this business and you're used to posting once every month or 2. That was me. So to run a business on your page, 1, you can't spam all over the place and be posting, 17 things a day that are irrelevant to the business. But 2, you do have to be posting. So you can't not ever post but once a month and expect to get business either. So all it is just kind of brings you in the middle. Day 1 is a positive quote with a selfie or like a picture of your family or something. Day 2 is something funny. Day 3 is a business post. Day 4 is an interactive, and day 5 is a call to action. And with that, we always keep in mind every 5 to 6 posts, you want it to be your face. It could be a video, it could be a reel, just something with your face in it, so people get to know you. Now, once you get the hang of posting and you're consistent, that's when you switch over to doing, I think Chelsea has taught on this. I think she calls them the 5 pillars. But basically, you're going to be posting about 4 or 5 things that you enjoy. Don't focus on, okay, what's my brand? How do I get the most people in my network? What do you actually like talking about? And this is a step that a lot of people skip, and they go straight into branding, and then they find out they hate what their brand is, and they don't enjoy it. And to be honest, I did this. I thought I was going to brand myself, and then I branded myself as a keto queen, and then I hated keto, and I don't even do it anymore. So dumb on me. But so I wouldn't skip this step. For me, I liked talking about parenting, cooking, keto, homeschooling, and random funny things. And then I liked doing ILT, which literally is just read something, learn it, and then turn around and teach it, because I like to teach. So for me, you're like, well, I've seen your page. You don't talk about cooking ever. Yeah, because I didn't like it. I thought I did. So you're going to find that there are certain things that you enjoy, but when it comes to having to post and make content about them, you're going to real quick decide you don't like them anymore. And that's okay. You're going to find your true passions through this business, and they will take you far. A lot of people stay posting about their pillars. They stay posting about the 4 or 5 things that they like to talk about, and you know what? That is perfectly fine. There are millionaires in this business that are not branded. They talk about the 4 or 5 things they like to talk about. They sprinkle the business and products in there, and they are rolling in the dough. So you do not have to brand yourself. Now, if you do those 4 or 5 things and you find 1 or 2 that you love talking about, and you're like, I want to take it a little bit further, I want to be known as an expert in this field. And I tell you that you will get a lot of leads by doing that. But you also have to put a lot of work in to brand yourself in order to get those leads. So you decide if that's what you want to do. You can set up a brand. You can set up a logo. You can set up a color scheme. You can make your business look like a business page. Or rather, you can make your Facebook look like a business page, cohesive across all your platforms. Do you have to do that? Absolutely not. Is it beneficial to get brand deals and that kind of stuff outside of ItWorks? Yeah. But again, that's not for everybody. So you get to pick what you want to do with your business and your page, and how much education you want to provide on your platform. And it might be, because by the way, there are people who are branded who quote unquote don't provide education, but they do. I guess it's not education, but they make people laugh. Just being a comedian is a whole brand and a whole vibe. And you may not think they're not providing any kind of value. I would agree to disagree. I've been on lots of comedian pages where I'm going through depression or just a dark time, and I go to those pages on purpose because they lift me up. They probably don't mean anything in the real world as far as I don't take anything from them and apply it to anything, but they make me laugh. There's a comedian on Instagram. His name's TJ Therian, I think. And he literally just makes fun of middle kids, older kids, and younger kids, the stereotype of the 3. Me and my daughter watch those almost every night. We love them. It's an awesome way to end the night before you go to bed. So you can brand yourself on literally anything. It does not have to be education. But having said all of that, that's how I sign customers and distributors without spamming my page. I absolutely post about the products. I absolutely post about the business. But I do it in a way on purpose that when you just glance at my page, you're not like, oh, she has 17 pictures of hair, skin, and nails today. And then the biggest thing you want to ask yourself is, what sets me apart from everybody else? Because there's other people doing MLMs out there. You are not the only one selling collagen. You are not the only one selling coffee. You are not the only one selling something for somebody's hair. So what sets you apart that they should follow you instead of following the hundreds of other girls doing the same thing? And I'll tell you, the distributor I signed this week, she even told me, she was with another company when she started following me. And I will tell you, she's been out of that company since 2019. So it's 2022 now. It's no longer cross-recruiting territory. But she didn't follow me because of It Works. She was in a company. She was happy. She loved the product. She still loves the products. They were just too expensive. And she followed me because of homeschooling. She wasn't even homeschooling, but she was thinking about it. And you know what? This week she reached out and, well, first she reached out like a year and a half ago and she bought the hair, skin, and nails. Again, because she just randomly saw me post about it. I was like, okay, like I'm going to try this. And then this past Monday she reached out and she joined the business. And she even said, like, I took it as a sign when you posted about the homeschooling stuff and it popped up in my feed again. I was like, okay, I'm ready to join the business. I need this. Gosh, she's been watching me for 4 years, guys. No, 5 years. And she's only been following me recently because of my homeschool stuff. That's when she started back following me. So, nothing to do with business. And that's how you're going to get some of your best distributors and your best customers, because they're going to buy into you. They don't buy into the company. They don't even buy into the products first a lot of the times. They buy into you. There's something about you that makes you unique. And you might say, well, I don't have a brand. I don't have any value to add. Yes, you do. We all do. Now, your value may look different than my value. And like I said, your value may be that you can make people laugh in a time when in their life where they might not have a lot of laughter. I would say that's a pretty big value. And your value might be education. Maybe you do like to teach things. Maybe you can read something and turn around and teach it in a way that people can understand it. Maybe you like to educate on a certain topic. Maybe you don't like to educate, but you like to talk about a certain topic. If you're sharing recipes, you're educating. Now, you may not look at it as educating because it doesn't feel like work to you, and that's good, but you're still making somebody's life easier and better and adding value to whatever space you're posting in. So, hope that helps, and I will see y'all in the next video.